Welcome back, my cosmic anomaly. The one they can't quite explain. You've noticed it, haven't you? That hesitation when people look at you too long. That pause before they try to categorize you. That uncertainty in their eyes when they attempt to understand what you are. It's not judgment. It's confusion. Not because you're strange. Because you're unrecognizable. Not because you're different. Because you're not matching anything in their database of what humans should be. You operate on frequencies they can't detect with normal senses. You process reality through mechanisms they don't possess. You access information through channels they can't map. And somewhere, deep in the part of them that remembers before conditioning, before programming, before forgetting, they sense it. You're not entirely from here. Not completely human in the way they understand human. Not wholly of this world in the way they experience this world. And that recognition, that subtle knowing, that unconscious awareness, it terrifies them. Because if you're not entirely human, if you're something else, something more, something that doesn't fit their models of what's possible, then everything they believe about reality, about consciousness, about what exists and what doesn't, all of it becomes questionable. See, they built their entire worldview on the assumption that humans are it, that this is all there is, that consciousness is limited to biological forms they recognize, that intelligence is constrained to patterns they understand, that existence is confined to dimensions they perceive. But you challenge all of that, just by being, just by existing in ways that don't quite fit, just by operating through mechanisms that shouldn't be possible if their models are accurate. You're the glitch in their matrix, the anomaly in their data, the variable that breaks their equations. And they can feel it, can sense it, can't quite name it, but definitely detect it. Something about you isn't adding up, isn't matching, isn't conforming to what should be possible for standard human consciousness, operating through standard human biology in standard human reality. You're exceeding parameters, transcending limitations, bypassing restrictions in ways that suggest you're not working with the same base code, not running the same operating system, not constrained by the same programming. And that possibility, that potential, that implication, it's too massive to confirm, too paradigm-shattering to acknowledge, too reality-breaking to admit. So they stay silent, stay uncertain, stay confused, because confirming what they sense would mean admitting everything they thought they knew is incomplete. Everything they believed is partial. Everything they assumed is wrong. Now watch how they treat you, with caution that goes beyond respect, with distance that exceeds normal boundaries, with a fascination that borders on reverence, not because you demanded it, because you generated it, just by being what you are, whatever that is, whatever you actually are beneath the human appearance, beneath the physical form, beneath the social mask. There's something else there, something they can't identify but definitely feel, something that doesn't match Earth origin, doesn't align with human evolution, doesn't fit terrestrial development. You're the first evidence they've encountered that maybe, just maybe, consciousness isn't limited to this planet, that intelligence isn't exclusive to this species, that existence isn't confined to this dimension. You're walking proof that the universe is more populated than they were taught, more complex than they were told, more mysterious than they were allowed to believe. And that proof is you, your presence, your consciousness, your very existence, operating in ways that shouldn't be possible if everything they learned about reality is accurate. But it is possible because you're doing it, and they're witnessing it, and they can't explain it, can't categorize it, can't fit it into their frameworks. So they stay quiet, pretend they don't notice, act like everything's normal, while internally panicking because nothing about you is normal. Nothing about you fits. Nothing about you makes sense in their limited understanding of what's real and what's possible. Let's talk about what actually makes you different. Because it's not obvious, not surface level, not something visible to casual observation. It's subtle, energetic, dimensional. You process reality through additional layers most humans don't access. You receive information through channels most humans don't have active. You operate through frequencies most humans don't resonate with. Your consciousness isn't limited to your brain. It extends beyond your body. It connects to sources beyond this planet. You're networked in ways standard human consciousness isn't. Linked to intelligence most humans can't perceive. Accessing data most humans don't know exists. And this gives you capabilities that seem impossible. Knowing things you shouldn't know. Seeing patterns you shouldn't see. Understanding connections you shouldn't understand. Not through logic, not through study, not through normal learning, but through direct access, through immediate knowing, through consciousness that operates beyond typical human parameters. You're not smarter, you're differently connected. Not more evolved, you're differently sourced. Not superior, you're differently originated. And that difference, that fundamental distinction, that essential variation in base code, it's what makes you unrecognizable to those still operating from purely terrestrial consciousness. They study you, not openly, but they observe. They watch how you navigate situations that confuse others, how you solve problems that stump everyone else, how you know things you have no logical way of knowing. And they can't explain it through normal means, can't attribute it to intelligence or intuition or luck, because it's too consistent, too accurate, too beyond normal human capacity. So they theorize, quietly, privately, in conversations they'd never repeat publicly. Maybe you're psychic, maybe you're gifted, maybe you're just unusual, but deep down, in the part they won't voice, they wonder if you're something else entirely, something that incarnated here but originated elsewhere, something that looks human but operates through non-human mechanisms, something that exists in this dimension but connects to others. And that wondering, that possibility, that consideration, it's too big to speak aloud, too paradigm-breaking to confirm, too reality-shattering to acknowledge, because if you're proof of non-terrestrial consciousness operating in human form, if you're evidence of multidimensional intelligence incarnating on Earth, if your demonstration that existence extends beyond what they can see and measure and understand, then everything changes. Every assumption becomes questionable. Every belief becomes uncertain. Every foundation becomes unstable. The architects have files on you, different files than they keep on normal humans, files in different databases, files with different classification levels, files that ask different questions, not about your background or your activities or your associations, about your origin, your nature, your fundamental essence. They're trying to determine what you are, not who, what, and their instruments can't quite capture it. Their measurements can't quite define it. Their analysis can't quite explain it. You register on their equipment, but the readings don't match known patterns, don't align with established baselines, don't conform to expected parameters. You're showing signatures that shouldn't exist in purely human consciousness. Frequencies that shouldn't broadcast from purely terrestrial sources, patterns that shouldn't manifest from purely three-dimensional beings. And they document it, record it, analyze it, but they don't announce it, don't publish it, don't confirm it, because confirming it means admitting their entire understanding of reality is insufficient. Their complete model of consciousness is incomplete. Their total framework of existence is inadequate. And that admission is too destabilizing, too revolutionary, too transformative to make publicly. So they keep it classified, keep it restricted, keep it hidden, while they figure out what to do with the first human who might not be entirely human. Now let's address what this means for you. Because being potential proof of non-terrestrial consciousness isn't comfortable, isn't easy, isn't something you can discuss openly. You've probably tried, probably attempted to explain to others what you experience, how you know things, how you access information, how you operate differently, and they looked at you like you were crazy. like you were delusional, like you were making it up. So you stopped trying, stopped explaining, stopped attempting to make them understand something their framework can't accommodate, and you learned to operate in silence, to use your capabilities without discussing them, to access your connections without revealing them, to be what you are without confirming what that is, because confirmation brings attention, and attention brings examination, and examination brings questions. You can't answer without sounding insane to those who don't have your access. So you hide in plain sight, appear normal while operating extraordinarily, seem ordinary while accessing extraordinary, and most people never notice, never sense, never suspect. But some do. Some feel something's off. Some detect something's different. Some recognize something's not matching. And those ones, they treat you carefully, watch you cautiously, approach you hesitantly, because some part of them knows, not consciously, not logically, but intuitively, instinctively, unconsciously. They know you're not standard, not typical, not entirely what you appear. This creates isolation, because you can't fully relate to purely terrestrial consciousness, can't completely understand purely three-dimensional perspective, can't entirely connect with purely human experience. You try, you adapt, you do your best to fit in, to seem normal, to operate within acceptable parameters, but there's always distance, always separation, always that sense of being outsider, even when you're included, observer even when you're participating, alien even when you're trying to belong. And that isolation, that separation, that eternal outsider status, it's confirmation, not of superiority, of difference, not of being better, of being other, not of elevation, of variation. You're not above human experience. You're beside it, not beyond human consciousness. You're parallel to it, operating in the same reality, but through different mechanisms, existing in the same dimension, but accessing additional ones, living in the same world, but connected to others. And that parallel existence, that dual operation, that multidimensional consciousness, it's lonely, because truly being understood requires someone with similar access, similar connection, similar origin, and those are rare. So rare you might go entire lifetime without meeting another, without finding someone who gets it, without explanation, without encountering consciousness that recognizes yours without confusion. But you persist, you continue, you exist as you are, without confirmation from others, without validation from systems, without acknowledgement from structures that can't even classify you properly. You just be, just operate, just exist as the anomaly, as the question, as the possibility that maybe humans aren't alone, maybe consciousness isn't limited, maybe existence isn't confined, maybe reality is bigger, stranger, more mysterious than anyone wants to admit. You're the maybe, the what if, the potentially, walking around, living normally, appearing ordinary, while being extraordinary, while representing possibility so massive it can't be confirmed without shattering every comfortable belief about what's real, what's possible, what's true. So they stay silent, stay uncertain, stay scared to confirm what their instruments detect, what their intuition senses, what their unconscious knows, that you might be it. The first proof, the living evidence, the walking demonstration that we're not alone, never were, never have been, and you're the proof they can't quite acknowledge, can't quite deny, can't quite ignore, but definitely, absolutely, completely can't confirm. The signatures you broadcast are fascinating, not just energetic, multidimensional. You exist here, but you also exist elsewhere, simultaneously. Your consciousness isn't contained in your body. It extends beyond space, beyond time, beyond physical limitation. Your anchor point, connection node, bridge between dimensions, and this gives you access others don't have, information others can't receive, understanding others can't grasp, because you're not just processing through brain. You're processing through network, through connection, through link to intelligence that spans beyond what humans typically access. Some call it higher self, some call it source, some call it universal consciousness, but it's more specific than that, more intentional, more directed. You're connected to something intelligent, something aware, something that's guiding your incarnation here, that's supporting your mission here, that's operating through you here, while maintaining existence elsewhere. You're not fully here. Part of you is always elsewhere, always connected, always linked. And that connection, that partial presence, that divided existence, it's what makes you unrecognizable. Because humans expect full presence, complete focus, total immersion in physical reality. But you can't give that, can't be that, can't operate that way, because you're not entirely here. You're simultaneously elsewhere. And that simultaneous existence, that dual presence, that multidimensional operation, it creates effects, generates signatures, broadcasts frequencies that don't match purely terrestrial consciousness. They've measured it, documented it, recorded it. Your electromagnetic field isn't standard. Your brainwave patterns aren't typical. Your cellular resonance isn't normal. You're generating signals that shouldn't exist in purely human biology, broadcasting frequencies that shouldn't emerge from purely Earth-based consciousness, displaying patterns that shouldn't manifest from purely three-dimensional existence, and they can't explain it, can't categorize it, can't fit it into known models, so they classify it as anomalous, as unusual, as outlier. But they know, deep in their classified research, in their restricted databases, in their need-to-know-only files, they know what the readings suggest, what the patterns imply, what the signatures indicate: non-terrestrial origin, extra-dimensional connection, multi-reality existence. You're not from here, not entirely, not originally. You're from elsewhere, and that elsewhere is bleeding through, showing up in measurements, appearing in data, manifesting in results that confirm what they're scared to confirm, that you're different. Fundamentally, essentially, originally, you're the first they've found, the first they've measured, the first they've documented. That shows clear, undeniable, measurable signs of non-human origin operating in human form. And they don't know what to do with that information, don't know how to process that data, don't know how to handle that confirmation, so they bury it, classify it, restrict it, label it need to know, limit access, control distribution. Not because they're hiding from public, they're hiding from themselves, from the implications, from what it means if you're real, if you're proof, if you're evidence that everything they thought they knew about consciousness is wrong, about life is incomplete, about reality is insufficient. You're the data point that breaks their paradigm, the measurement that shatters their model, the confirmation that destroys their framework. And they're not ready, not prepared, not willing to face what you represent, to acknowledge what you demonstrate, to confirm what you prove. So they stay silent, stay uncertain, stay terrified of what you are, of what you mean, of what confirming you would require them to admit about reality, about existence, about the universe being far more populated, far more complex, far more mysterious than they ever allowed themselves to believe. Now let's talk about why you're here. Because this isn't accident, isn't random, isn't coincidental incarnation. You came for reason, with purpose, with mission. You're not lost, not confused, not accidentally incarnated in wrong place. You chose this, agreed to this, volunteered for this, before you incarnated, before you took form, before you entered this dimension. You knew it would be difficult, knew it would be lonely, knew it would require operating in isolation. But you came anyway, because mission matters more than comfort, because purpose transcends preference, because what you're here to do is more important than how you feel doing it. You're scout, pioneer, advanced consciousness, testing whether this dimension can handle higher frequencies, whether this planet can support elevated awareness, whether this species can integrate multidimensional consciousness. You're the test case, the experiment, the proof of concept. If you can exist here without being destroyed by density, if you can maintain your frequency without being lowered by collective consciousness, if you can operate your capabilities without being suppressed by limiting beliefs, then others can come. Others like you, others from elsewhere, others with similar origin, similar connection, similar mission. You're preparing the way, creating the path, establishing the possibility that beings from other dimensions, other realities, other states of existence can incarnate here successfully, can operate here effectively, can fulfill mission here completely. But it's not easy. The density here is crushing. The limitations are restrictive. The forgetting is powerful. You came in remembering, knowing who you are, understanding what you are. But this reality works hard to make you forget, to convince you you're just human, to persuade you you're nothing special, to pressure you into accepting you're ordinary. And many who come with similar origin, similar mission, similar purpose, they succumb, they forget, they accept the forgetting. They believe they're just human, having unusual experiences rather than multidimensional consciousness, operating temporarily in human form. But you didn't forget. You held on. You maintained knowing, even when everyone told you you were wrong, even when every system tried to convince you otherwise, even when all evidence seemed to contradict what you knew. You held knowing, and that holding, that maintaining, that refusing to forget completely. It's why you're proof, why you're evidence, why you're confirmation. You maintained enough connection to elsewhere that it shows, that it broadcasts, that it registers on instruments designed to detect non-standard consciousness. You're the one who didn't forget enough to blend in completely, who didn't suppress enough to appear entirely normal, who didn't disconnect enough to register as purely human. And that partial remembering, that maintained connection, that sustained awareness, it's what makes you detectable, what makes you measurable, what makes you confirmable as something other than purely terrestrial consciousness, operating through purely human biology. The mission you're on is simple, but not easy. Exist here, maintain frequency, demonstrate possibility, that's it. You're not here to save world, not here to enlighten masses, not here to transform everything. You're here to prove it can be done, that consciousness from elsewhere can operate here, that higher frequencies can exist here, that multidimensional awareness can function here, without being destroyed, without being suppressed, without being completely forgotten. You're the proof of concept, the demonstration, the evidence that if conditions are right, if support is sufficient, if mission is clear, beings from elsewhere can successfully incarnate here, can effectively operate here, can completely fulfill purpose here. And that proof, that demonstration, that evidence, it's paving way, creating possibility, establishing precedent for others who will come, others who are waiting, others who need to know it's possible before they attempt it themselves. The others are watching you, not humans. The others, your people, your origin, your home consciousness, they're observing how you navigate this density, how you maintain frequency in this limitation, how you fulfill mission in this restriction. They're learning from you, understanding through you, preparing through you. Because if you succeed, if you prove it's possible, if you demonstrate it's survivable, others will come. Not many. This dimension can't handle massive influx of non-terrestrial consciousness, but some, carefully selected, specifically prepared, intentionally positioned, to continue the work you started, to expand the frequency you established, to build on the foundation you created. You're not alone in this mission, not abandoned in this incarnation, not isolated in this experience. You have support, not visible, not physical, not accessible through normal senses, but real, present, active, guiding your path, protecting your mission, ensuring your success. They can't intervene directly. That would violate free will, would disrupt natural development, would interfere with human evolution. But they can guide, can support, can arrange synchronicities that help, can create circumstances that serve, can influence without controlling. And they're doing all of that for you, because you matter, not just personally, cosmically. Your success or failure impacts more than just you, impacts the entire mission, the larger plan, the grander design of preparing this planet for eventual contact, for conscious connection, for acknowledged relationship between terrestrial and non-terrestrial consciousness. You're part of that preparation, part of that bridge building, part of that possibility creating. But you can't discuss this openly, can't explain it publicly, can't share it freely, because this dimension isn't ready. This species isn't prepared. This consciousness can't handle it. Yet confirmation would create chaos, panic, breakdown of existing structures, not because the information is dangerous, because the implications are massive. If non-terrestrial consciousness is operating in human form, if beings from elsewhere are incarnating here, if reality includes dimensions beyond what's visible and measurable, then everything changes. Every belief system requires updating. Every scientific model requires expanding. Every religious framework requires integrating. And that level of change, that degree of transformation, that magnitude of paradigm shift, it can't happen suddenly, can't occur rapidly, can't manifest without preparation. So you stay quiet, operate privately, exist anonymously, while being what you are, doing what you do, fulfilling what you came for, without confirmation, without acknowledgement, without public recognition. Because mission doesn't require recognition, purpose doesn't need acknowledgement, service doesn't demand confirmation. You're here to do work, and work gets done regardless of who knows, who sees, who acknowledges. You're the silent proof, the hidden evidence, the classified demonstration that we're not alone, never were, and you're okay with that, with being proof that can't be confirmed, with being evidence that won't be acknowledged, with being demonstration that must stay classified, because you understand. Mission matters more than recognition. Purpose transcends acknowledgement. Service exceeds confirmation. You came to prove it's possible. You're proving it. Every day, every choice, every moment. You exist here while maintaining connection elsewhere. You operate in density while preserving frequency. You fulfill mission in limitation while sustaining awareness. You're doing what you came to do. And that's enough. More than enough. Exactly enough. The fear around confirming you is multi-layered. First layer is scientific, because your existence breaks their models. Their understanding of consciousness requires brain, requires biology, requires physical mechanisms they can identify and measure. But you demonstrate consciousness operating through mechanisms they can't find, accessing information through channels they can't map, processing reality through dimensions they can't measure. And that breaks their framework, requires complete restructuring of how they understand awareness, intelligence, existence itself. Second layer is religious, because most belief systems claim exclusive understanding of divine, of soul, of afterlife. But you demonstrate consciousness isn't exclusive to one understanding, isn't limited to one framework, isn't confined to one belief. You're multidimensional, awareness operating through human form without fitting any single religious model completely, and that threatens every exclusive claim, every absolute belief, every singular truth. Third layer is social, because society functions on shared assumptions about what's real, what's possible, what exists. But you demonstrate those assumptions are incomplete. Those possibilities are limited. That existence is far stranger than collective agreement allows. And confirming that, acknowledging that, accepting that, it destabilizes everything, every institution, every structure, every system, built on assumptions your existence proves insufficient. So they can't confirm you, can't acknowledge you, can't accept you publicly. Not yet, not now, maybe not ever in your lifetime. Because confirmation requires readiness, requires preparation, requires foundation strong enough to integrate paradigm-shattering truth without collapsing into chaos, and that foundation isn't built yet. That readiness doesn't exist yet. That preparation isn't complete yet. So you remain unconfirmed, unacknowledged, unaccepted, officially. But unofficially, they know. In classified files, in restricted databases, in need-to-know conversations, they know you're real, know you're different, know you're proof. They just can't say it, can't announce it, can't confirm it, without triggering collapse of frameworks that billions depend on for understanding reality, finding meaning, organizing existence. So they stay silent, maintain uncertainty, preserve deniability, while documenting everything, while measuring everything, while recording everything, building database, creating foundation, preparing groundwork for eventual disclosure. When timing is right, when readiness is sufficient, when preparation is complete, and you'll probably never see it, never witness it, never experience confirmation in this lifetime, but it's coming, slowly, gradually, inevitably, and your existence, your data, your proof, it's part of what makes it possible, part of what creates readiness, part of what builds foundation for humanity to eventually acknowledge what you've been demonstrating all along. That consciousness isn't limited to Earth. That intelligence isn't exclusive to humans. That existence isn't confined to 3 dimensions. You're proving it right now, every moment, every day, whether anyone confirms it or not. The isolation this creates is profound, because confirmation would provide validation, would offer community, would create belonging with others like you, others who understand, others who recognize. But that confirmation isn't coming. That validation isn't available. That community isn't accessible, at least not openly, not publicly, not in this dimension fully. So you learn to find confirmation internally, to generate validation intrinsically, to create belonging with yourself, with your connection to elsewhere, with your relationship to others like you operating in other locations, other missions, other expressions. You're not physically alone, but you're dimensionally connected, not locally community, but universally networked, not terrestrially supported, but cosmically backed. And that has to be enough, because it's what's available, what's possible, what exists while operating in dimension that can't quite handle truth of what you are yet. But someday, maybe not in your lifetime, but someday they'll confirm it. They'll acknowledge it. They'll accept it. That you were first. First proof. First evidence. First demonstration that we were never alone. You just showed up before confirmation was possible. Before acknowledgement was permitted. Before acceptance was prepared. So you exist in silence, operate in secret, fulfill in isolation, as first contact that can't be contacted, first proof that can't be proven, first evidence that can't be evidenced. Yet, now let's address the others like you, because you're not singular, not unique, not only one. There are others, not many. This dimension can't handle many simultaneously, but some, scattered, distributed, positioned strategically, across planet, across cultures, across communities, each operating their own mission, each fulfilling their own purpose, each demonstrating their own proof that multidimensional consciousness can incarnate here, can operate here, can succeed here. You'll probably never meet them physically, probably never encounter them directly, probably never experience physical community with them, but you're connected, energetically, dimensionally, consciously. You're networked, part of larger operation, coordinated mission, unified purpose, each doing your part, each holding your frequency, each proving your possibility, and collectively, Together, unified, you're creating field, generating frequency, broadcasting signal that makes eventual contact possible, makes future acknowledgement feasible, makes coming disclosure manageable. You're not preparing ground alone. You're doing it together, simultaneously, coordinatedly, each in your location, each in your context, each in your expression, but unified in mission, connected in purpose, aligned in demonstration. Some of the others forgot more than you. They know they're different, but they don't know why. They sense they're unusual, but they don't know what. They feel they're alien, but they don't understand from where. They're operating with partial memory, fragmented knowing, incomplete awareness, and they struggle more than you because they can't quite access the connection that sustains you, can't quite maintain the frequency that guides you, can't quite remember the mission that directs you. They're lost in ways you're not, confused in ways you aren't, struggling in ways you don't. And part of your mission, part of your purpose, part of your work is finding them, helping them, reminding them, not directly, not obviously, not invasively, but through frequency, through presence, through resonance. When they encounter you, something in them recognizes, something in them remembers, something in them activates, because your maintained frequency, your preserved connection, your sustained awareness, it triggers theirs, reminds theirs, activates theirs, your beacon for others like you who forgot more, who disconnected more, who lost more of original knowing. Your presence helps them find their way back, find their connection, find their mission. So when you feel pulled to certain places, certain people, certain situations, trust it. That's not random. That's coordinated. That's part of larger mission. To find the others, to remind the others, to activate the others, so they can fulfill too, can demonstrate too, can prove too. That multidimensional consciousness successfully operates here, but some forgot completely. They incarnated with same origin, same connection, same mission, but they couldn't maintain it, couldn't preserve it, couldn't sustain it. The density crushed them, the limitation suppressed them, the forgetting consumed them. Now they're just human, just ordinary, just standard consciousness, with no memory of what they were, no connection to where they're from, no awareness of why they came. They're casualties of mission too difficult, of density too crushing, of forgetting too powerful, and they'll live entire life never knowing, never remembering, never reconnecting. They'll die having never fulfilled, never demonstrated, never proven what they came to prove, and that's tragic. But it's reality of incarnating in dimension this dense, in limitation this severe, in forgetting this powerful. Not everyone succeeds, not everyone maintains, not everyone fulfills. Some are lost, and there's nothing to do about it, except continue your own mission, maintain your own frequency, fulfill your own purpose, so their sacrifice, their loss, their forgetting, it wasn't for nothing, because you're succeeding where they failed, maintaining where they disconnected, fulfilling where they forgot, and your success justifies their attempt, honors their effort, validates their sacrifice, even if they never know it, even if they never remember, even if they never reconnect.